And one of the students, her first round, she somehow got nervous and she was not able to clear. And
Yes.
if you also try, we give you the small chance, right? And today that girl is working and she's one of the top performer as well.
Yeah, that's what. Everybody deserves a second chance, and the difference between discernment and dreams. One example I would like to give. So the girl may dream that I want to marry, the dream boy and all, but she forgets that the reality is different. So you're mat and walk.
Yes.
If you don't take up yourself and if you don't take action on something, you will not do anything. So you
Yeah.
have to do something in order to do anything. So first you have to.
Everyone, welcome to I'm a Recruiter podcast. I'm your host, Prafula Deuri. I'm thrilled to have you with us today. I'm a Recruiter is more than just a podcast. It is a movement by and for talent acquisition professionals. We are here to shake things up. Our vision is to create a seamless network of recruiters from classroom to boardroom. Our mission is to create a collaborative platform that connects and empowers any TA professional, providing end-to-end support across talent acquisition landscape. If you are getting value out of our content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and also let us know what you think in the comment section. Let's build the community together. With this, it's time to welcome our guest. So we are really excited to welcome Christy Vidya, a passionate and inspiring professional who has made a unique journey from the first phase world of investment, shaping young minds in the world of education. Currently serving as assistant placement officer at Chanakya University. Christy is not just a mentor, but a true guide for students preparing to step into the professional world. With a background in academia and corporate experience, she brings a rare and powerful blend of knowledge, empathy, and industry insights. She believes in continuous learning, building confidence, and preparing students to face real world challenges. Let's deep dive into her journey, the lessons she have learned, and her thoughts on the future of recruitment is heading. Welcome to I'm a Recruiter. So we are really excited to have you in our show. So we just wanted to know about you and your journey, where you were born and brought up, what kind of education background you had, then how you landed up in academia. Because we have seen that you have started in investment banking side and you have moved into this side. How was your journey? So if you can quickly brief it. Thank you for the invite, Prafula sir. It was indeed a pleasure to connect, and I am very happy to be here in your podcast. And I'm a recruiter community. I would like to join the community as well. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And I thank God for this moment. I was born and brought up in Haveri, that is North Karnataka. And I came here to Bangalore for my MBA graduation. And after completing my post graduation, I just started to, find the opportunities, giving interviews to the companies. But it didn't go well initially because I was very new to Bangalore, adapting to new culture, new environment. This part of Karnataka is very different when compared to north part of Karnataka. So it's like little bit, there was a culture change, environmental change and all. And I was alone here when I was hunting for the job. So, and by the grace of God, initially I was, I got an offer from Fidelity Investments, Fidelity Banking. It is FMR, Fidelity Management and Research Center, which is in Bangalore. So there I started as an associate initially. So where I used to handle, the employees of MNC companies, their PF details, provident fund, or, the accounts details and all. Initially I was into it. And then later what happened, or the, late night stretch, all those things was little bit, difficult for me. But then my in-laws were supportive, my parents were supportive, but somehow I was feeling little bit difficult to manage, because from my side I have to also look into my family where I'm newly introduced into. Yes. So that was also responsible. So I enjoyed 2 years, 1.5 years in investment banking. Then later I got into college. So when I got into college, not as a student, it was a different, but as a faculty there. So initially, then I felt like I'm back in my college days again. In the mid of 20s, when we are missing the college, when we go back again to the college days, it feels so charming and it feels so good that you can see yourself in the phase of student life. So I was just searching myself in each and every student, individuals, whomever I meet. It was very good interacting with the students, getting to know, teaching them. I learned along with my career. So it was a learning journey initial years when I joined as a faculty, as a lecturer there. Then slowly I was given an opportunity to, where I was working before in the Bishop Cotton, there was no placement cell. So by the grace of God, I got opportunity to initiate the placement cell. So initially, a few consulting firms, I just connected with them, and
I learned how actually the recruitment takes place and what from our side, from the college side, what are the norms, roles, responsibilities it has to be fulfilled towards the students, how the students have to meet the expectations from the industry. Maybe students have their dreams, how to align their intellectuals towards the industry expectations. Started learning there. Then initially 1 2 3 years it was like, with the consulting firm, chasing between the firms, and then slowly attending the events, networking, especially LinkedIn, and through other various platforms, connected with the startups, MSMEs, connected with various companies. It was slightly taking off to, interactions, networking with the companies and all. So from there, actual journey started from 2018. From 2019, started getting to improvise on mentoring, on coaching, connecting with the firms, aligning the students, industry, academia, learning aspects and all. And after that, I was there with Bishop Cotton for 9 years. After that, again, I got the opportunity here, and it is in Chanakya University. It is a great platform to learn, a great platform to have an exposure towards industries, and to have a holistic education here. So I am glad to be here in the university, and I thank God for this opportunity as assistant placement officer in the university level, where we have 6 schools: School of Engineering, School of Law, School of Management Science. We have various vibrant schools here. 6 schools. Under that, again, we have different verticals. So I'm really happy to be here in this university.
Officer, you have told us a little bit about things, but what are some of the good things people have not seen about training and placement department in colleges? Because these days many students, they just graduate and they think that they will enter into startup, they will enter into corporate, but there are lots of opportunities in college and universities as well, right? So what are different skills required to be working as a training and placement officer in any of the college or university?
Okay. First of all, the placement officers deals with the students who are stepping into professional world for the first time. Many of them are unsure about their career. Many students are unsure about their career and career paths, lack of industry exposures, and need guidance on how to present themselves to potential employers. So we just not act as a recruiter. We also, there are student aspirations on one side, there are industry expectations on the other side, and we have to collaborate with the inside the university. Say, for example, different departments, with the admin, with the faculties, the deans, chancellors. There are university in the middle. We are answerable to the management. We have to collaborate with the faculties, and we have to mentor and coach the students, and we have to interact with the companies.
Yes.
So it's like, it's not just a recruiting, mentoring, coaching, networking. So these all things revolve around the placement cell. And students to obviously, even when I was a student, I was not, I don't know, okay, how to approach the placement cell. They feel difficult to, okay, there is a cell, they will be aware of there is a cell, but how to approach the cell members, how to approach the representatives, whether it is like, if I go and approach, what they may tell, no, we are here, the placement cell in every colleges are available for the students. And students, the awareness campaigns is arranged, and students are, the webinars are arranged, seminars are arranged, workshops are arranged, events are arranged. We just to make continuous engagement will be there for the students. So it is a university responsibility to make sure that, or the placement cell responsibility to make sure that, to make the students understand that, okay, you can come and talk to us individually, because for us there are many students, but for the student it is his college. So individual perspective, his perspective also we have to understand. That is we have to prioritize their thoughts even. And when we go and approach them, and when we interact them, we have to tell them, see, we are here for you. First of all, please remove the fear that I will not be placed, whether this college will be placing us, whether the companies are coming in. If the companies come in, then how should I be prepared? These all things, there will be juggling. They have the jiggling thoughts in their mind. So these things we have to, initial interaction should be arranged from the placement cell to remove all the kind of fears and to boost their confidence. One tap is required for the student in order to make him understand that we are there for them always. So that is being taken care here, particularly in Chanakya University. That is there.
Nice, man. And let's say if someone want to start their career in training and placement office, what skill he or she as a student should prioritize so that he or she can be successful in that particular role?
Okay. When we interact with the students, we do some tests, and we do, have some kind of group discussions. We do conduct some events. When we are doing that, or when one or the other activity will be going on, during that time, what kind of involvement is there from the student side? So, you have to, your communication skills, first, your communication skills, whether you know English or whether you don't know English, you know to talk, speak, and come and clear your doubts. Ma'am, you just have to interact. The interaction will be the helpful tool initially for the students. And how we just have the internship opportunities at our campus itself. So we give the options for the students in order to build their leadership roles in them, and we try to involve the students in all the kind of activities, making them in charge for few committees. There are few committees. So you take care of this committee, you take care of this committee. So initially screening. If, for example, the interview is going on for the final year, I'm giving you example. Interview has been scheduled for the final year students. So second year students who are there, we can pick the volunteers or we can ask them. So please come forward. Volunteers who are interested to take part in, please come forward, especially in HR specialization people. Yes. Or in the marketing side. Please come forward. When we ask them, they definitely show their interest. They contribute. They would like to contribute. And when they start helping us with the process, when we are, scheduling the, or when we are line up companies, when we are doing the companies lineup, or when the HRs come here to meet them, to greet them, initially the ushers committee. Okay, students, please be in this ushering committee. Take them. So interact them, talk to them, so they get to know there. That is the first phase. Second phase, when the group discussion is arranged or the aptitude test is arranged, when they're around with us, they get to know. So if any student open up and tell, ma'am, this is what I'm interested, definitely we will give them the opportunity. That is one thing. When we take the help of student volunteers for the placement drives or off-campus interview, or any kind of interview activities or the placement activities, recruitment activities, we also make sure that students are aware of what is happening in the university, what is happening around them, and what is happening for their seniors, so that they will be having the idea in the process. So that is how we give the opportunity for the students as well.
Great, ma'am. So I totally agree. Students, they will have lots of thoughts in their mind, right? Whether they will get placed or not, lots of things going on. You as a training placement officer have to understand their thought process as well, right? And other thing is, like what I have also seen is many students are really good, but only problem is their confidence level. They know how to talk, they know what to talk, but when they see someone from other company or so, they are not very confident enough, right? So same like what you have told, right? Just speak up. No one is going to tell you something wrong or something, right? Just try. It's okay. If your English is good, not good, at least you are trying to communicate, right? Which is important. Right. So as an HR, as a recruiter, what I look is basically if someone is good in terms of attitude, someone is who is at least trying to do something, even though he or she doesn't know, we try to prioritize that candidate. I can give an example, right? So I was in one of the company I was working with. So we were during the placement time, we went to the placement drives and all, one of the very popular college. And one of the student, her percentage were very good, right?
Okay.
First round, she somehow got nervous and she was not able to clear and she got very low, like we have like the cutoff and all. So she was out of that average marks and all. So she came to us, she spoke to us, hey, sir, can I talk to you? Then she told that I was very nervous. She was, so what do we gave her a glass of water. First, you relax, drink, then tell us what's happened, what is happening, right? So she told that I was okay, all the things, all these things I have done in my project also. But since it was my first interview, I was nervous and I couldn't do. So what did we do? It was we tried to give second opportunity for her with interviewing other technical panel, right? And in that round, she did very good, right? So that small chance, if you also try, we give you the small chance, right? And today that girl is working and she is one of the top performer as well.
Yeah, that's what. Everybody deserves a second chance, and they may fear for the first. At the very first, they might go this anxious phase, and if we are a little bit kind towards them and given the opportunity, definitely few students maybe they might be encouraged. They might have the encouragement, and they might go further beyond what we think. So everybody deserves a second chance.
Yes. So, next question for you, ma'am. What was one of the biggest challenge you have faced in your career? Throughout your career, you have worked for almost 9 years in Bishop Cotton College, right? Before that, also you have worked with corporate. So, what was one of the biggest challenge you have faced in your career, and how did you handle it? Because every individual life have a different journey, right? Every individual is unique. So, was there any challenges you have faced?
Yes, of course, there were a lot many challenges because, see, first phase, when you enter into any of the colleges, there will be a seniors to guide us.
Yes.
And there will be a few seniors who will be like wanting to do something and they wouldn't have got opportunities. And there are few seniors who is interested, but they wouldn't have, might be probably they would have missed the opportunities. And initially, when I join as a junior or somebody, for example, I suddenly step in and I got the opportunity, then that interpersonal relation
Yeah.
That will be a little bit tough. But
Yeah.
later, when we include ourselves, day to day activities, day to day operations, when we try to interact with people, when we try to help them, the basic challenge, whatever we face, suddenly, instead of little patience is required in everything. Every organization will be like a big boss. You know the big boss?
Yes.
Everybody's eyes will be on you like this. So you have to be very careful. But once you settle, until you settle, that is there is a problem in each and every organization. But have a little patience, because when you are new to the organization, there are other people also who were before you. So you have to respect their attitudes. You have to listen to what they say, and you have to be a bit calm until you get acquainted with the environment. That was getting, of course, there was a constructive criticism.
Yes.
There was a constructive criticism, and sometimes whenever we face, the failures, what happens when we failures hinders from trying new things.
Yes.
So when we experience the failure phase, we shouldn't be stopping there. Maybe we may practice, or we may recite a positive affirmations, and
Yes.
if we try to improve our thinking, critical thinking ability, and if we little broaden our perspective, and if we can understand the person, emotional intelligence is required nowadays. Emotional intelligence is required wherever you go. Try to understand the person, even though if you get offended, sometimes you have to be patient. Then you don't look into short term winning goals. No, the goal should be long term and not a short term. But in the process, a short term objectives are necessary, but you have to focus always on the long term, where there you can overcome the challenges. There are challenges everywhere. If you cannot say there is no challenge and I cannot overcome it. No, you cannot say. You might be having a challenges through your seniors or co-workers or family side, or from your own health, or your reskilling, upskilling, or you're not that much technical. Now you have to move on to technical transformations that are happening around. So in the middle of all these things, you need to work and you need to be productive. If you are productive every day, if you have the mindset of yes, I have to work, and if you are able to take that pain of work, then maybe you can do something.
Yes. And thank you so much for sharing about the failure, about the positive criticism as well. Because corporate life is not very easy, right? Students might think that it's very easy. Everything is.
I want to just quote one thing.
Yeah.
See, there is a difference between discernment and dreams. One example I would like to give.
Yes, yes.
For example, a girl, why am I giving this example? Because it is happening and it has been very real in nowadays. So the girl may dream that I want to marry, the dream boy and all, but she forgets that the reality is different.
Yes.
Right? She may dream, she may get the dream boy. Okay, he should be like that, he should be this way, that way, and all. She may get that guy, but in the process of marriage, she will interact with the reality.
Yeah.
There comes the discernment.
Yes.
Being in discernment is different, and fulfilling the desires is different. So, desires versus discernment.
Yes.
If you are clear about the discernments, then fine. But don't forget the reality, and dream what is relatable. Dream what can happen in real life. So, difference between the dreams and discernment can give a little bit of clarity. Yes.
Yes. Great, nice example, ma'am. So just a relatable one story which I wanted to share. Again, it's personal, my life story only. So my mom and dad were married, they were love marriage and all, they married. So somehow my mom didn't focus on her studies after marriage, and she was a housewife. But later she realized that it was always good to be independent, not only relying on your husband.
Yes.
So she always taught me and my sister that whether you are a boy or a girl, you should be equal, right? So you should be working, right? You should be not dependent on your husband or wife, right? So because you never know what will happen next, right? And today, if you see the marriages, love marriage or normal marriage, you can't guarantee anything, right? It may be there, it may not be there, because reality is very tough. How you have mentioned, dreams are there, but is that the reality,
Yes.
right? So there is a huge difference between the dreams and the reality. So I thought I will try to share my own personal experiences and my life so that people can relate. And one thing which you have told about the failure, many people just talk about success. Even though students, for them getting a job, it looks like a success. For me also, when I did my engineering, I was not very good with programming and all. I was not very good with programming. So I thought that engineering might not be a good thing for me. So I did MBA. And after MBA, I started my career in HR. right? Now, if I see and I try to connect the dot, I am much better position. I'm happy with my role compared to my friends, my classmates, and all, right? So you need to understand what your real strength is. The short term goal might look different, right? But the long term goal, like you have told, focus on the long term goal. Great, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, today when I was interacting with few students, were like when we bring the opportunities. See, for example, there might be finance, HR, and supply chain management specializations. So when the companies walk in nowadays, the students are little bold. PG post graduation students. Directly, one incident I would like to quote. In few months back, student went and approached the HR, and HR shared her thoughts. Madam, I am doing supply chain management, so I don't want to work as a HR. So if you're hiring me for HR, I don't want this position. Yes, of course, the clarity is good. Then later, when I tried to talk to her, when I tried to counsel her, then I got to know that, say, for example, you might get into HR department, but she got selected. After selecting, she came and spoke to me, ma'am, I got selected in as a job as HR in the department of HR. I asked her, you got into HR, but what is your designation? Did they give? No, they are on, you are on hold, right? Yes. So then can I talk for 5 minutes? I asked her permission. So I cannot directly burst into her computer. I cannot,
Yes.
force her for something. So then I spoke her, then I understood. Then I gave one small conclusion. What is that? Maybe in HR department, say for example, she was a data analytics, she was a business analytics student.
Okay.
She was good in, data visualizing,
Reporting in AI.
all those data validation. She was good
Yes.
at it. So when I got to know her, okay, I thought, okay, she's good in Excel, she's good in pivot table, she was good in, macros, visual basics and all her talents. So then I told her, see in HR also, department also, there will be huge data.
Yes.
Data sorting is necessary. Data visualization is necessary. You have told the HR that you are not interested in HR, but you are a data analytics or business analytics student, and they are aware of that. But after you conveying them also, if they're hiring you, do you think they have not heard you? Yes, they are. They have considered you because you opened up and you spoke what you want. And who knows, once you get into it, then only you will understand what your interest. At least see, nowadays, what my suggestion to a bunch of students is, at least try some 10 to 15 jobs, or at least try to some 5 to 10 jobs. When you go or do, actually, when you involve in the action, then only you'll understand, okay, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, what are my capabilities. Maybe nowadays one department is linked with many departments. See, now, when I was leaving corporate, I was like feeling, why am I leaving corporate and why am I, of course, teaching was my passion, but I wanted to be in a, this MNC company that will be there when we complete the education,
Yeah.
post graduation. But now, being in college, I went to corporate, right?
Yes.
Being
Yes.
in a college, I can see, I explored the opportunities. I got the opportunities when I just at least get up, take your mat and walk.
Yes.
If you don't take up yourself and if you don't take action on something, you will not do anything. So you have to do something in order to do anything. So first you have to start. Otherwise, you're like, no, I will go only for this. No, initially I started with, little bit. For a few months, I worked as, marketing, door-to-door marketing. I went. Then I did HR cold calling, few international voice call centers when I was studying. Studying plus work. When you try to experience different verticals, then you will realize, okay, these are the opportunities available in different streams, different organizations. This is the what kind of organization structure. It differs from one company to company. You will understand when you actually get into the company. You are what I told that girl is, you may get an opportunity to serve in the. Am I audible?
I have also invited one of the campus recruiter to
Mhm.
our podcast, right?
Mhm.
So she was working with Optum United Health Group.
Okay.
And she started her journey almost like 3, 4 years back. And when she was a college student, she did almost like 8 to 10 internship, right? Just to realize what her actual interest is, right? And after doing the internship program, when she got to know with different department, different business unit, different functions, she finally chose HR because that is her interest lie, right? The example which you were also talking about, right? So similarly, these people without knowing, they think something else, the reality might be different. So internship is a very good opportunity. You have also done in your before starting your career, ma'am. I have also done lots of different activities, part-time jobs and all those things. Then I realized that this is the thing which is interested for me or which I like doing, right? So I thought of sharing the similar thing, ma'am. That's
Very nice, because the students will sit and everything will not come at your door. So you have to
Yeah.
go in search of what you want.
Yes, yes. So next question for you, ma'am, is how do you think job market has changed in last few years?
What I would like to quote is digital technology. Initially, when we were like, it was just, companies and the students. Now there is a platform. See, now we and I'm a recruiter community and me is very far. Now distance doesn't matter. Yeah. Because of this AI or because of this automation. See, of course, there is one challenge. There is a reduction in the demand for human labor. But at the same time, it has given rise to the new roles even. For example, after COVID, if you take, what I've seen, there is a boom in BC admissions and MC admissions.
Okay.
BC admissions, like every time we used to face a little bit difficulty. Now we don't find it difficult at all in filling the BC admissions or MC admissions. People think that okay, if I have to shift my career in tech careers, so then I have to have some kind of IT education. Then only I'll be focusing. Then only I'll be leveraging the opportunities that is in the IT industry. So that is also there in students' mindset. So after post COVID, it is completely, digital technology is in a boom. And see, for one example I would like to give. There was one company, Bubble Software. See, where, for example, when we are going in a highways or in a malls or when we are in airports, what we see video walls, video walls. Yeah. In that video walls, the tiny device can be installed, and we call it as a crowd analytics. For example, if it is in the road, the digital wall or the video wall is in the road, it is in the mid of the road. There, the one tiny software, only this much, the tiny tool will be installed. And for example, the McDonald's advertisement is displayed in that video wall. Afternoon, it is 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you're passing by and you saw that advertisement. So when you're looking at the advertisement, whether you're crying or whether you were drooling or whether you were like, sad or whether you were happy, it captures your emotions.
Okay. Interesting.
It captures your emotions. And plus, how many vehicles passed by near that signal or near that location? How many vehicles passed by? Four-wheelers, how many? Two-wheelers, how many? That will also be captured. But there is something with the AI. And now, if I want to put one example, if there is a repetitive work in the industry, such kind of repetitive work is demanding AI.
Yeah.
So that portion of the demand for that particular labor is been reducing. That process is getting automated. But apart from that, there are other new opportunities also where reskilling and upskilling is required for even us. Yeah. For every 5 years, reskilling is important. Now, yes. Initial days, we were using we were using just a tool, a mobile, internet, Gmail, that's all. Now, Google Forms, Google Sheets, OneDrive, yes, Outlook was there before even, but there are so much Copilot, Copilots, 365 pilots, all there. So there is a digital literacy is required, and creative and innovations is required, and critical thinking, deeper thinking is required for the students. AI should be artificial intelligence is not intelligent. It acts intelligently. That's all. That we have to understand. It should be our assistant. We should not become its assistant. Yes.
And what skills do you think student must focus to success in their career from your perspective? Definitely, there are multiple different skills required. That's different thing. From a training and development officer, from your point of view, what skills students must have to become successful?
Commitment. There is no commitment. Say, for example, I'll be there for 3 months interns, 1.5 months, 1 week, 2 weeks only. Sure, he will come back. They will just decide, okay, this noon I am offended by my boss. Tomorrow onwards, I will not come. Do whatever you want. No, this attitude has to go. It's like every day will not be a bed of roses, right? Yeah. Every day will not be the same. So today you may have a joyful moment. Tomorrow you might be having a critical moment, but you have to enjoy all the moments until you have finish particular period. So first of all, commitment is required. Communication should be there. You have to have this time management, which most of them do not, which ourselves sometimes feel it difficult. So yes. Time management, communication, or critical thinking, innovation, digital literacy. You have to know now. Basic Excel is not just AutoSum. Basic Excel itself, you have to know VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and then you have to go for pivot table, or you have to Power BI is advanced now. Now basic Excel is not a basic. Advanced Excel is basic. So you have to have the digital literacy, and you have to have the emotional intelligence. You have to have communication. You have to have commitment. You have to have time management. These are the 5.
Awesome. Great. So all the audience, all the students who is hearing our podcast, we have heard that correct. Definitely commitment is required if you're committing for anything, right? If you're committing to your parents, if you're committing to your friends, you should stick to those commitment as well, right? Similarly, if you're committing to any organization, based on your commitment, there are lots of dependencies are aligned in an organization. So please stick to your commitment like ma'am has told. And again, communication is not a very hi-fi English. It's just the way you share your thoughts out. It can be broken English. It can be not required only English, yes, right? But as an organization, we prefer that you know English because the email you write, the way you talk, everything is happening in English. So understanding English is important, right? And definitely, ma'am have told digital literacy is very important. So please prioritize accordingly. Great. And with interest of time, last 2 to 3 questions, right? So how do you help student to prepare for the real world interviews? Because students are not that serious during the interviews, right? So how do you prepare them? Because your job is not that easy. You have many students. You have to convince the corporates, startups, companies as well. Then you have to also prepare the students. So how do you prepare them?
Okay. First of all, nowadays the trend is like diversity and inclusion, right? Everywhere there is a virtual hiring going on. So,
Yeah.
for example, we will create the environment where they actually get the feeling of entering into the actual interview. Mock interview we will conduct so that students, you see, recently we conducted first time a group discussion for one batch of students. So I asked them, how many of you felt that I could have done better? Everybody raised hand. Not even one guy didn't tell that I did good at the very first. Everybody raised. So when we conducted after 2 weeks of a gap, when we conducted again the group discussion, few of them actually did better. So they need that platform where they can learn. Hands-on learning is important. Hands-on experiencing is important. So we create the environment, actual environment, how it, I mean, not actual, similar to that, so that interviewers will be sitting, the panel of discussions will be happening, group discussion will be happening. So if I'm very familiar to them, I'll bring in a new person so that they should not feel that, some known person is sitting, some stranger is sitting. So they should get to know that environment. So we make them to sit somebody else and tell them, okay, this is a HR. So he will be taking your group discussions now. So go to that. Then aptitude tests. We give the sample aptitude tests, and to make them understand, we take a psychosomatic. We make them to attempt a psychosomatic tests. So then there will be that phase. They may understand the difference between attempting and expecting. So attempting and expecting, they will come to know. So what I should expect, then how I should attempt. That they will make them understand. So we will create mock interview, we will train for the aptitude, reasoning, data interpretations, and we will just focus on the soft skills. We will mentor them, coach them. We will keep the individual files in order to understand, and we make them to do their SWOT analysis. At present they may feel this is not important. What they think as instant, everything should be like instant coffee. They should like, okay, now finish 2 rounds, 3 rounds. No, that won't happen. It is getting a job is not an instant coffee maker. We are not instant coffee makers for that. So they have to, how you talk, that matters. Your gestures, your body language, the tone, your articulation, whether you are able to speak your mind, whether you are really genuinely interested or whether you're pretending. All those things will be observed in the long run. You may be selected now, you may get on a role, but later you want to succeed and you want to sustain and survive in that particular job. You need to have soft skills. So soft skill is important. The other skills are also equivalently important. No, listening skills, aptitude skills are also important. At the same time, the other things are also there which you have to focus, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes. Great, ma'am. So, what trends do you see in campus hiring happening these days, right? What kind of trends you are seeing? Like, are there lots of demands in certain areas of skills for different branches in different demand?
Yes, of course. Now we are in industrial revolution. Everywhere, what kind of in the fourth industrial revolution, fifth industrial revolution? We are in that post fourth or fifth industrial revolutions. So in this era, industry 5.0 or 6.0, 4.0, whatever it is called as, we are seeing the virtual reality, augmented reality. Say, for example, I want to imagine a lion in front of me. It is possible, right? Through
Yes.
hologram.
Yes.
So
Yes.
hologram, it is possible. And one more thing is, say for example, but this one thing students should be clear of. Say for example, interview will be going on through AI tool or through a AI platform. If I want to manipulate my answers, if I just look into screen, if I just open my tab, I don't have the images right now. Once we were in the workshop, in the middle of workshop, what I heard was in the window, there will be a mark, like thunder, lightning mark, what you see. If you just shift your eyes like this, and if you want to close the tab, one tab and open the other tab, and if you want to try to copy the answers, it will just mark. Or if somebody is standing in front of you, if the reflection is seen, that will also be marked. People think that, okay, interview online is easy. If you are just holding your mobile and if you just shift your focus to the other side, that will also be marked. Online interview, how many times you Googled it, then the screen will be blocked. So
Yeah.
there are little bit of measures which is included in AI based recruitment, so that the student should be aware. Most of the students will miss the chance. Maybe 9 answers, 8 answers, whatever he attempted might be correct, but another, for just because of one answer or two answer, when he try to misuse the tool, then he will be missing the complete opportunities. The trend now is AI based recruitment or a virtual recruitment which is happening. Students should be aware of not manipulating the interview methods or processes.
Yes. And what kind of branch or like subject or let's say skills is in demand from the company side or corporate side currently? Yeah, in terms of skills, like what kind of lots of demand means you are in touch with lots of corporates, right? So what is the major focus?
Nowadays, everywhere there is a micro careers. So you just
Okay.
don't stick on to one.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be multitasking. That is also there.
Yes.
But cloud computing, UI, user interface, user experience, like how? See, for example, I have a Netflix. I'm using a Netflix. So in the Netflix, I don't want the picture to be here. I want this picture to be moved here. You can write a coding with the help of AI tool even, but you have to at least have that deep thinking. So where it should come, how it should come and all. So UI is in boom, UX is in boom. Hadoop, there is something called as Hadoop. That is also there. And data analytics, business analytics, and what you can call psychology, natural sciences, organic industries, and what I said earlier, industrial revolution, when I said blockchain technology,
Yeah.
cryptographies, encryption, decryption, symmetric keys or symmetric keys, all those things were there, but now it is broadened. It is like
Yes.
narrowing down in particular phases. So industry 5.0 or industry 4.0 or industry 6.0 focuses on this, on the blockchain technology or cryptography or AR, in the field of AR or in the field of VR, user experience or UI UX. So these are the areas. Coding,
Sure,
yes.
ma'am.
Artificial intelligence, machine
Yes.
learning,
Yes. Great. Thank you so much, ma'am.
digital marketing also for the management, digital marketing, search engine optimization, social media marketing, content marketing,
Yes.
influencing marketing. These are there available
Because
options.
I think content is also like lots of people are using lots of different contents these
Yes,
days. The consumption of the content is also increasing a lot,
yes, yes,
right?
yes,
Like let it be video, audio, or like your normal context, right?
yes.
Text. Great. So I think we have covered a very good conversation today, ma'am. So before we wind up our call, I want to definitely say thank you to you for your time and from the I am a recruiter community. So as a community, we have near about like 5,000 recruiters across different companies, let's say service industry or consulting or startup or good product based companies as well. We have a good sets of recruiters. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring together all the recruiters in one platform so that we can learn from each other. And some or the other way, campus is also important for the recruiter. And that's the reason we are trying to connect with you to understand your perspective as well, how the recruiter can also help the campus training and placement officer in finding the good talent as well, right? So that was the intention behind why we wanted to invite you to our podcast, that there are not easy side, right? Training and placement side is also difficult, right? So we wanted to know your perspective.
There are no much kind of initiativeness found. So what this community is doing is really great, bringing campus placement officers or bringing companies together and trying to do something good to the student community, which is really great. And I'm really happy, and I will be happy if I am included in your community as well. That would be a great opportunity to contribute myself to the student community as well. And whatever you guys are doing, it's really, hats off and all the best further.
Thank you, ma'am. And before we wind up, I think as a community member, we also try our community people like the recruiters or sources to provide guest lecture or mentorship as well to the students. We
Okay.
don't charge anything. It's a community. But if you need any kind of help some or the other time, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to help the students as well because we were a student sometime and we were not able to get those kind of support earlier, right? We learned on our own. But today we have a good system. So why can we help the students
Right.
in finding a good talent? Great, ma'am. So thank you so much. Looking forward for
One
more.
thing before
Yes,
concluding, they students have to do self-assessment, need to do some research, and they have to acknowledge the challenges.
yes,
There's nothing called walking on the cake. Nothing.
yes,
There will be a challenges. Whether the facing that challenge is worth, they have to ask themselves why and how. The WH question should be included in their assessment. So self-assessment would be better because nobody can help you better than yourself.
yes. Totally agree, ma'am. Great. Once again, thank you, ma'am, for your time. And it was an interesting discussion starting from your journey, how you have begun, and some of the tips for the students to be successful. So it was an interesting discussion. I'm pretty sure that our audience would love our discussion and looking forward for more fruitful discussion in future, ma'am.
You're being a very good host. Thanks.